This is more about living in the time of the coronavirus epidemic, set in the summer of 2021, the year 1 CE. Every store we go into has a help wanted sign at the door. That's nearly every store. There's almost a feeling of desperation around it. They can't find help, much less good help. I heard that Walmart is offering $15 an hour to start bumping that up to $18 an hour if you work a week. That's a week. And if you stay a month, they'll give you several $100s as a bonus. Another thing we have noticed is terrible service in some stores. People working there who know nothing about the business and could care less. Also, finally, employers are doing anything to get someone to work. In my lifetime, it has never been easier to get a job, plus instant promotion if you have half a brain and show up on time. Yet millions are content to loaf and collect unemployment benefits. Is it any wonder I call them N-worders? They are. Anti-mask people, especially parents of school children, are organizing and seeking a legal way around their kids having to wear a mask. I think most schools will offer virtual learning, and that is a joke, a monstrous waste of time. People make much over how some artists, who have come to be considered great, sell so little of their work in their lifetime. But I think art runs into trouble, or is at least problematical, when it crosses over into the market and starts making money. I saw a video on art in New York City, and besides the artists, there were assistants and critics and patrons and dealers and gallery owners, all there solely because of the art. It's obviously a complicated, competitive world, and I would not want to live in it. It seems inevitable to me that the further the art extends into that community, the less it becomes art and the more it becomes a commodity. Some pieces escape into museums where great art goes to die. One piece went to a museum after it was purchased for millions by McDonald's. Andy Warhol was a great commodities broker. A short while ago, I was writing about warning signs. You have to be alert to them and know how to read them. Many times they are not blaring, they are more subtle. There were warning signs in the high-rise condominium that collapsed outside of Miami, Florida. Nearby, at a 60-year-old high-rise condo, there is cracked cement and exposed rusted rebar. Even though the building has been inspected and has been found to be structurally sound and repairs are being made, some of the residents are very nervous. Well, that's understandable. It is hard to read the warning signs and all too easy to overlook them. We simply do not expect the bridge to collapse until it does. Obama Llama had a 60th birthday party, big tent on Martha's Vineyard. It was going to be a huge bash, but they scaled it back, it said. Still, there were lots of private jets and celebrities, much catering, and no masks. The elite, like Obama Llama and Fancy Bulldozy, live the way they want to live, but they do it in private, so they can still, seriously and sincerely, if only theoretically, appear to be a man or woman of the people. That, of course, is preposterous and insulting, but the people dearly love to believe that it is true, so it becomes true, and the elites get away with it, living the life of uncrowned royalty, not giving a hoot what happens to the ordinary people. It was Obama Lama who said everyone should play by the same set of rules, from Main Street to Wall Street to Washington, D.C. And I think he stuck to that. He just capitalized on what gullible morons and worders the American people are. That was where he made his fortune, in Barnum's Suckers. Yes, he was a community organizer, and he lived in a mansion while he was doing it. It's like the PM saying that he is a devout Roman Catholic, when nearly all of his social policies go against the teachings of the Catholic Church. There's no contradiction there. You can be anything you want to be in this society. My law of navigation in it is to never take anything at face value. I heard a man talk about what he called our freeloading society. People who won't work would rather live off the government. And he got it mostly right. He said these people are willing to trade their freedom for safety. But if you seek the definition of someone who will trade their freedom for safety, it's not a freeloader, it's an N-worder. One is a mooch, a pest. The other is scarcely human. Every once in a while, I get a strong, serious suspicion that the world is not heading in my direction. Pizza Hut is going to start offering plant-based pepperoni. This epidemic has always been confusing, and now, more than ever, it is a mess, a giant clusterfuck. The masks, the vaccines, whether or not, and now corporations and some states are making them mandatory, and that only inflames the situation. There are now public protests, demonstrations, often by parents who do not like having their children forced into wearing the mask. And many are upset by the instruction too, mostly the critical race theory stuff. Woke. That's a lot to swallow. It's never been easy to be a parent in our society with all of its material advantages. It should be fairly simple and straightforward, raising a child. It isn't. It seems that the village wants to do it for you. As a parent, unbelievably, you are told to back off.